let's look at what happened. Let's say we have COVID-19 in the middle. Okay, COVID-19 happened. That's the center of the crisis. Once COVID-19 happened, right, we already know now it produced a lockdown. It's affect the economy. Because the economy stopped, we have a recession, the decline of the economy. And if that decline continues for a long time, we have a depression. This is like when you have a nervous breakdown. Everything stopped, basically. Right? We can't pay our bills, the economy stops, business closes, the government can't do it. It's a big issue. We don't want to get to the depression. But let's look at it to a time perspective, right? How long it's gonna take us to get out of this thing. This is time here. We're coming from the COVID-19 going out. This is time. And then we'll see how the COVID-19, the first thing the COVID-19 did, it's affect, the first layer is the economy. It's affect the economy. Right? It create a recession. Okay? The first thing that happened, it's affect here. COVID-19 created a lockdown that stopped the economy, creating a recession. That's what we saw earlier, right? So now, time perspective. So it's going to take us a while. This is coming out of time. This is time going this way. The economy will be in a recession for a good, let's say, 6 months to a year. Okay? It's about 6 months to a year, we're going to be in a recession. About 6 months to a year. So what is this recession do to us? This is the second layer of it. The recession creates unemployment. This is key. We need to understand. Because the recession, business are closing, people are losing their jobs. So now we know the economy will be in a recession for 6 to a year. This unemployment will continue from probably a year to year and a half. This unemployment will persist, right? A lot of companies won't come back. A lot of places will be closed forever. Some restaurants will be closed forever. Some businesses will never come back. This is why you see the government is getting involved. Why? Because they need to keep people, keep people in their job. This is why you see every government want to reopen. They want to reopen the economy. Why? Because they want people to work. The government doesn't want to keep paying people unemployment, right? The government doesn't want to give loan to businesses. The government doesn't want us to lose our home. So with unemployment, there is no money to use. If I don't have any money to pay my bills, if you don't have any money to pay your bills, do you see what problem we're in? And this will persist for about a year and a half, close to 2 years. Right? Time here is, let's say, 1 year. So we have 1.5. This is what's going on. That is time going this way. This is all happened by this crisis here we have. Okay? So the third layer of this crisis is what we call government intervention. Government intervention. So the government have to come in. What does the government do? It produce unemployment. It send people a check every month, and then what they because of that, what they have to do, they have to bring stimulus package, right? Right? Stimulus package. those stimulus package go to the state to pay people unemployment, and also the part of the stimulus package go to businesses. It's like a loan with 1% interest going to businesses, because businesses got to come back. If business don't come back, we might go to the depression we're trying to avoid. They need business continue to stay in business even when this crisis is over, right? So now the government is gonna continue this thing for between 2 and 3 years. The government, because it will take probably 3 years for us to get out of this thing, for the economy to get back again. The economy is not gonna get back to where it was just quick. Everybody go to work in the economy. No, it's not gonna happen that way, because some businesses, even when they reopen, they're not gonna have all the employees they used to have. If you have a restaurant now, you only doing you drop off, or you do phone order. You don't need that many people. You might end up having 6 people instead of 12 you used to have. Some will stay on unemployment. The government got to step up. So the next layer, right after the government come in, right? The government come in and do all that. So we're going to see after the government come in, we will see default if it's continued. Okay? Default. Let's spell this right. Okay? Default. What is that? Because the economy is in a big trouble, right? So what we'll see here is people now. People don't have the money to pay their bills. Even unemployment might not be enough. Let's say you used to make $7,000 a month. Now the government is giving you $2,500, and your mortgage is $3,000. You see the problem there? So that people, right? People will lose, right? They will lose money, right? They will lose money. They will lose their home. They will lose cars. You see? And way more. People will lose their mind because they don't have enough money to pay all the things they used to have when the economy was great. But if you are making $5,000, all of a sudden you reduce to like $1,500 or $200, and you have kids, you have all those bills to pay. This is why the government saying we need to reopen the economy. Now you can start to see the problem that the government has. They don't know what to do. They can't fix COVID-19 yet. But they have a bigger problem coming. Right? It's the recession we're talking about. The depression we need to avoid. Okay? So if that happens, once people start losing everything they have, the next layer of this thing we'll see that the bank in the government, they're gonna start to own everything. The bank gonna repossess your house. They're gonna repossess all your cars. If you have car loans, you can't pay it. The bank will own everything, and the government have to start buying those loans. You see that? The government to FHA is gonna start buying all these loans again, buying all these car note again. Right? What else do you have? Credit cards you're gonna stop your credit card. They're gonna stop your credit. You won't be able to have any credit. So you see, that's a big problem. The bank doesn't want to own they want you to pay your mortgage. They don't want to own it. But if they have to, they will do it. You see that? So the bank starting to own everything, the government start to own everything. That's not good for the economy. That's a problem, because now you and I who consume everything, who's paying for everything, we don't have the money to buy it. The bank will own it. Now, at some point, right, at time, so we would say probably in 2 years. If that's continuing by about 2 years, the bank will probably own everything, right? And then here, in the next circle, this is where, because the government keep pumping money, the bank keep working with people, what's gonna happen? This is where we're gonna see some type of recovery coming in. This is why we're gonna see the business gonna start open again. We'll see businesses start to some new business start to come. New business model will be coming, right? They're gonna be hiring again. The government will give loan to people to start businesses. This is probably like between 2 and 2.5 years in the making. Okay, this is the time where really we're gonna start to recover. This is gonna be 2.5 years. This is gonna be 2 years. This is gonna be 1.5. This is about 1 year. This is about half a year. This is about probably a year in here, right? Year and a half, right? So you see, time is going out. Every process in this thing, the recovery is gonna take longer, because it's gonna take all this for the government to start saying, wait a minute, we got to get involved in this deeper, and we need to pay businesses to get started. We need to make loan available again. Right now, at this point here, all the government is the one doing this. The bank is not letting people borrow money. If you need to buy something right now, it's gonna be very hard, because they're gonna say you need to have a $700 credit to be able to buy anything. It's a minimum of people who have that credit. Majority of people is like 580, to 650, right? So right now, if you have a credit 650, I don't think they're gonna give you a loan. It's gonna be so hard. And then the thing is, if we don't have something for COVID-19 real quick, you can see the time will be against us, and then the faster you'll see the recession going, and the faster the government got to print money, more people will be unemployed. Right now, we have about 20 million people unemployed. That's more than any recession we used to have. In 2008, we only have 3,000 people out of work. Now we have 20 million people going up, right? Every week more people is need unemployment, right? So you see, it's a chain here. If you look at this, it's the same way when you are in the water, you drop a little bit of things in the water and you see the ripple effect, right? If you're in a piscine, you drop something in it and you see the ripple effect. That's exactly what happened. COVID-19 dropped, and then you see the ripple effect. First, the economy, recession. Second, unemployment. Third, the government coming. Fourth, you see people gonna start default if thing doesn't change. And then sixth, we said the bank gonna start owning everything. Foreclosure gonna increase. Right? Only the people who have reserve will make it through that time before we have the recovery, right? And then the last part of it, so after we recover from this thing, this is where we need to be careful of inflation again. Inflation, right? Now, 3 years in, we recover. And then we'll see price start going up. We see price start changing. Okay, you see that? This is a good way to look at the light down in the economy, right? We saw that COVID-19 create a lockdown, and the lockdown stop the economy, create a recession. You see that? The recession now gonna create second layer unemployment, and in which will continue. The government got to step in to help the people that doesn't have a job now, but also to help the businesses. You don't want the businesses to go down that fast. And in the next layer of this thing, if it's continue, you're gonna see people start default on things. People won't be able to pay their rent. People won't be able to pay their mortgage. People won't be able to pay their condo. This is a big problem. The government doesn't want that. That's why they're giving you some money to pay for your needs. And in the next layer of it, it's bank gonna own everything. Bank gonna do foreclosure. They're gonna repossess your car. They're gonna stop your credit, right? Your credit card gonna stop. You won't be able to get a loan. This is the economy's in lockdown. Right now, people's in lockdown. At this point here, is the economy that's in lockdown. Economy lockdown. Because the economy lockdown, what happened? Now the government got to step in again to start let businesses borrow money. And then new business model will come in, right? New business, and they're gonna start hiring people again. This is the recovering process. Businesses will be created. Business gonna start getting loans again. People will start getting small credit card. People's gonna start having jobs. So the faster you get your job, the better for the economy, the better for the government, because the better for the bank, because they're gonna start making more money. And if you are an investor around that moment, around here, between these time here, if you are an investor, you are golden. This is where you start buying these properties from the government. You start buying debt from them, from the bank, and then you buy them and sell them. This is the recovery. And then price gonna increase. If you buy a property for $10,000, but by the time they recover, it's gonna be worth probably like $60,000, $70,000. You see? So this is what the COVID-19 really do to the economy. The lockdown is killing the economy, and every government wants the economy to be open, even though we don't have a cure yet for COVID-19. Why? Because of all that. And in time, we have to be clear, people. The economy will not get back to where it was when we go back to work. Nothing will be the same. Change is inevitable, right? We have to plan for this. Let's plan for this now, because it's going to continue. It's going to take a good 2 to 3 years for things to get back to some normal, right? Nothing will be normal again. But if we understand that, we have to understand time. If we understand that, I'm sure you'll be in a better position. Use this for your own advantage. Use this to understand what's going on in your life, in your local community, in the state you live in the country you live in the world. If you do that, you see the effect of the lockdown on the economy. Again, solution. Solution, solution, solution. This is what that's going to bring to us, solution. My name is Sezair, Julien. I'll see you next time. God bless you.